Hello everyone, Berserkhead here, and welcome to this video, which I'm going to be showing you the mods that I'm using currently for Total War Attila. I've wanted to make this video for a while, and now the workshop's been out for, a few weeks, so I decided to just make a video going through the mods that I use. I did pretty much the same thing for Rome 2 once the workshop came out. So yeah, these are going to be the mods that I'm using, the mods that I have installed, and I'm going to go through all of them, tell you what they do, and I guess you can go and download some of them. So, okay. I have 5 mods installed, but I don't have most of them active, all of them active. These are the 3 mods here that I have active all the time, but I have 2 more that I use in certain situations. So, first of all, we have all factions and custom battles. This one is actually pretty useful if you make videos and stuff like that. For, I guess, cinematics, sometimes you might need those factions. Although, currently, you don't really need this mod. What it basically does is pretty self-explanatory. It just unlocks all the factions in custom battles. So you can play as one of the factions that are not playable in the campaign in a custom battle. That's basically what it does. Why you don't need it right now? It's basically because they don't have any unique units at all. I wanted to check out one of the Slavic factions because there are actually 2 Slavic tribes in the game, just to see their roster, and they just have the standard Germanic roster. So as of now, you don't really need this mod, but once they start adding like more DLCs and stuff like that and more units to the game, I guess it might be useful. And then this is one of the mods that I have always on. This is GBJ's Blood mod, Attila, the Blood Dark Times. So GBJ is Great Black Jaguar. That's his name, of course. He's this Russian guy that makes primarily blood mods for Rome 2 and Attila. I think he made a few translations of the game to Russian, I think, as well. But yeah, I think I have all of his mods installed. Or at least I have all of his mods downloaded for Rome 2, and I've been using most of them. Because they do different things. And again, he has several mods for Total War Attila that do different things with the blood. But this is the one that I use. It's actually, I think, the first mod that he made. But it's pretty good. So here there is actually a description in English, but I think this is Google translated, so it doesn't really give you a very good idea of what the whole thing is. So I'm just gonna read the Russian one and translate it myself. So the mod uses about 7 different textures for blood, pretty self-explanatory. Here's the interesting thing though. Depending on which weapon is used in the fight, you're gonna have different textures on the ground. And based on the different animations, you're gonna have different blood decals that are gonna appear on the ground. So this is what it says. Depending on the different hits in battle, the mod uses different textures for blood. That's what it says. Another thing, pretty much every blood mod out there does it, but blood doesn't disappear on the ground. And it says it changes the textures of the blood on the bodies to look more realistic, and there are better textures for blood and guts on the ground when artillery hits. So as you can see here, there's a picture. They look a little bit different. If they look better or not, I guess you can tell. I like them better than the textures, than the standard texture, so I just use the mod. And here is this is like the minus of the mod, I guess. And if your brightness is not very high, the blood doesn't really look that dark and gloomy. So yeah, this is actually kind of a thing that I've noticed about this mod. That's kind of a minus, I guess. If you're playing a night battle, blood is gonna look kind of pinkish, so it doesn't look that great, but I still like it better than the default blood. There's another minus that the mod has. You actually gotta download an additional file from here in order to use it, and every time actually the mod updates, you're gonna have to re-download this file and put it in your data folder of the game. But there are instructions in English, so if you don't know Russian, that's fine. You can still understand it. I just decided to translate the Russian one myself to understand it better. And later I'm going to show you this mod in game as well, but as you can see, here are some pictures. About the other mods that I'm using, the natural water mod, I used a similar mod for Rome 2. It just makes the water look a little bit darker, a little bit more realistic. I like it. It's just a small change to the game, but it's better. I just like it, and you've probably noticed it in my videos. It looks a little bit different, and you can tell that I'm actually using a mod I just like the water better this way. Just the campaign map makes the campaign map look better. The next mod, the Olympian Battle Camera. It's a camera mod. It makes the camera look, not look, but move more. Um, I've tried the debug camera. It just didn't work really well for me, so I just decided to download a camera mod. I don't know why, just the debug camera didn't work too well for me. This one does pretty much the same thing. You can go higher than the standard camera, and you can like you can go as low as like the ground as well. So it just makes, you can zoom in more and you can do all of that stuff. This is basically what it does. I just decided to download a camera mode instead of the debug camera because I've been having some problems with the debug camera. And this is the other one that I'm using. I'm just gonna need a second to find it on the workshop, and I'm gonna tell you what it does as well. Okay, apparently this mod is not on the workshop anymore. I'm not sure why, but it's just not on the workshop, and it won't let me delete it from the launcher either. I'm not sure exactly what happened with this mod, but it is basically a mod that I'm gonna show it to you later. But it basically does a few changes to the Nordic faction, the Norseman factions. It adds more beards, it adds more furs, it adds more shield textures and stuff like that. And it supposedly makes them more realistic. It adds a few new units and stuff like that. So I'm actually gonna go in game and show you what those mods do. Okay, so here I am in game just to show you a few of the new things added by those mods. So first of all, this is the custom battle mod. Apparently it unlocks all the factions in the game. This one is one of the Slavic factions. I just wanted to see what it does, and as I told you, it just has like Germanic units. So that's about it. And now to show you what this Nordic factions mod does, let's go to the gates here. As you can see, it changes the like their faction banners, whatever. And it adds a few new units that I'm not gonna go through. But yeah, Odin spears, stuff like that. They're unique units for each faction. I'm not using this in campaign simply because I'm not a huge fan of mods like that in campaign, because they they add more detail about certain factions, but they don't do anything to the other factions. So I'm not a huge fan of mods like that. But yeah, to show you the other mods, I'm gonna load a replay here. Okay, so here I loaded a custom battle that I played quite a while because I wanted to kind of make a cinematic with it. I never got around to doing it, but I will make a cinematic out of this battle at one point. But yeah, I don't have any of the new units that are added by the Nordic factions mod, unfortunately, because I played the battle before I actually installed the mod. But let's zoom in here. These are the Danes, and yeah, as you can see, their like banners are a little bit different. And okay, let's go in cinematic mode here. So as you can see, they look a lot different. There's much more shield variety. Those shields look a little bit different. Do they look better? I'm gonna say no, actually, because some of those are really historically inaccurate. I don't want to be nitpicking here, but I mean, some of them have like crosses, and yeah, is this one here? That's a Christian cross. That's like, when the Vikings, like during the Viking era, there were a lot of Christians with the Vikings, so I guess you would see shields like that sometimes, with like crosses and things like that. But this is way before the actual Vikings, so you wouldn't see shields with crosses and stuff like that. So they're not really historically accurate. Plus, like, you see those people with like long hairs and long beards, and usually in the Norse society, warriors didn't really wear like long beards and stuff like that, because that would be impractical when you're fighting in battle, because the guy you're fighting can just catch your beard, or pull you or something like that. So you wouldn't generally wear like long hair and a beard if you're a warrior. Some of them did, I guess, but it wouldn't have been this common. And as you can see, a lot of those guys have beards or some sort of facial hair. As you can see, there are barely any guys that don't have beards. I haven't actually spotted any of them. So yeah, this is what the mod does. It just completely reskins the Nordic factions, adds a few new units, and yeah, I guess it makes them a little bit more detailed. It's good for cinematic purposes though. That's why I'm keeping the mod, even though it's not on the workshop anymore. It's actually kind of a useful mod to use in cinematics. As you can see, they look pretty good. Some of them wear furs, as I said. There are more furs that they're wearing. And the beards look pretty cool, even though it's not the most historically accurate mod. It's a cool looking mod. And I guess yeah, I guess I can show you the camera as well. So this is how close it can go. it doesn't clip through the ground as the debug camera does, but it's ground level, as you can see here. So that's pretty good. You don't really need more than that, so I guess that's fine. And then it can go up pretty high as well. I don't think you need to go any higher than that. So it does its job. I don't need the debug camera. When I had this mod, it just does the job pretty well. So I guess we're gonna fast forward to show you the blood mod as well. There is no artillery, so I won't be able to show you the decals on the ground caused by artillery. It's actually gonna take quite a while. So I guess I can make another cut and just skip to a part where those guys are actually fighting. Okay, so the guys are about to charge each other. That really took a long time. But yeah, once again, this is supposed to be kind of a cinematic battle that I'm fighting. As you can see, I'm trying to advance with all the units at the same time to make it look a little bit more cinematic here. But yeah, let's zoom in. And there's already some blood here. These guys, Scout Equites, getting destroyed here. As you can see, they decided to charge first with them. So yeah. So you can see on the ground, blood looks a little bit different, doesn't disappear as well, and there are a lot more new textures as well that look a little bit better, as you can see. And the more weapon types there are, the more, you know, textures you're gonna see, because once again, there are different textures for the different weapon types that are used in battle. So let's see here. I'm gonna charge these guys. They're actually gonna route pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm kind of spoiling what's gonna happen for the cinematic, but it's fine. It's fine. It's, you know, when I make the cinematic, I'm gonna make it look a lot more different, of course, since it's a cinematic. So here I'm just charging head on with all my guys. Some javelin men here as well. I don't actually, you know, I just try to charge as a blob here. So yeah, let's zoom in a little bit. There is a lot of lag because there's a lot going on right now. I guess I could put it in slow motion, so that's gonna reduce the lag a little bit. Yeah, that makes it better. So yeah, let's go into cinematic mode once again. Here, as you can see, that looks pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. This guy has 2 axes in his head, and there is some blood on the ground. There is a decapitation going on as well. And again, different blood textures here. There's a head on the ground. There's another one actually close by. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty much what the mod does. Oh, there's another one coming. There you go. This guy's gonna get decapitated. There you go. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this video. I showed you all my mods, what they do. I showed you kind of the cinematic as well, to show you this mod that's not on the workshop anymore. But yeah, blood mod, I like it a lot because still I don't like the blood, the normal blood that's in the game, so I feel like using a mod. Also the camera mod does the job. It's pretty useful as well. And the better water mod. I'm really not using that many mods. You know, these are just some simple mods that improve your experience, you know, slightly, each of them. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.